Hi, I'm Tony Crumless. If you're just beginning to learn to play the ukulele, I'm sure you'll like 2 or 3 chord songs. I've lots of them on my YouTube website with tutorials about each of them. But what about a 1-chord song? This is a fun song and one of the oldest known songs for children. It's called Froggie Went A Courting. Mr. Froggie went a courting and he did right. Mr. Froggie went a courting and he did ride a sword and a pistol by his side. He went down to Mrs. Mouse's door. He went down to Missy Mouse's store where he had been many times before. Oh, yes. He said, Mrs. Mouse, are you within? He said, Mrs. Mouse, are you within? Yes, Cancer, I sit and spin. He took Mrs. Mouse upon his knee. He took Mrs. Mouse upon his knee and he said, Mrs. Mouse, will you marry me? Without my Uncle Rat's consent, oh no, no, no. Without my Uncle Rat's consent, I wouldn't marry the President, oh no. Uncle Rat laughed and shook his fat sides, ah ha ha, tee-hee. Uncle Rat laughed and shook his fat sides, I think his niece would be a bride, ah ha, that's funny. When Uncle Rat gave his consent, oh yes. When Uncle Rat gave his consent, the Weasel wrote the publishment, oh yes, that's right. And where will the wedding breakfast be? Where will the wedding breakfast be? Way down yonder in a hollow tree, what fun, yum, yum. They all went sailing across the lake, They all went sailing across the lake and got swallowed up by a big black snake. Oh dear, that's all. But there's bread and cheese upon the shelf. There's bread and cheese upon the shelf. If you want any more, you can sing it yourself. I'm using the chord of F. That's quite easy to play, but C, G, A, D would all work, but will sound higher or lower and may or may not choose your voice. You can only find out by trying it. The first note to sing is the name of the chord, called the tonic. In C, Froggie went a courting and he did right. In G, it would be Froggie went a courting and he did right. In A, it would be Froggie went a courting and he did right. In D, it would be Froggie went a courting and he did right. Works in all major chords. This is very useful for learning particular chord shapes and, more importantly, for building up the essential motor memory of a chord, so your fingers learn the shape and can find it easily. To reinforce this, I'm suggesting taking your fingers off the strings and then putting them back. As it happens, this also enables you to make use of the free chord of C6 or A-7 by strumming across all the open strings, and also gives the aha effect in the song. I explain why this chord has 2 names in my video on how chords are formed and other places. It also allows you to concentrate on the scroll of strumming, making sure you play all 4 strings downwards with the thumb, the finger, or floppy fingers, which I like, and upwards with the back of the thumb. As I say, this is one of the oldest known children's songs. It first appeared in Weddenburn's Complaint of Scotland in 1549 under the title The Frog Cam to the Mill Door. And there's also a reference in the London Company of Stationers Registers in 1580 to a most strange wedding of the frog and the mouse. There are many texts of the ballad. However, the oldest known musical version is found in Thomas Ravenscroft's Melismata in 1611, and was the first to mention also Three Blind Mice as a song. One-chord songs are not that common, but there are other examples to write, notably John Lennon's Tomorrow Never Knows from the Revolver album in 1966, and another children's song, Ten in a Bed, that also works with just one chord. You could also sing it with just a simple finger pattern like Lives does. Just on the F chord would be either the top three strings or the bottom three strings, 1, 4, 3, 2. Or if you sing it in C, or just like that. And the final suggestion would be, because there's so many verses, to start it off in the key of C, Froggie went a courtin and he did right bar home. Then to change to F by using a C7, Froggie went a courtin, and it just lifts again the whole thing by playing it in two different keys. Anyway, whatever you do and however you do it, have fun with it.